Hello and welcome to the Formula Racing League. This is the Tier 1 category and we are at Zandvoort for round 3 of the championship. The drivers preparing for the 3-part qualifying session, Q1 being 18 minutes, where we'll lose the slowest 4 drivers. We may have 20 drivers, but if it's a 19-car grid, we will lose just the 4 at the end of Q1. So just a few things to notice on the driver front. Race 1, 2, 3 is replaced at Alfa Romeo for this race by Luna Ascari. Something else to see if there's any other changes as well. De Roy in the Williams in place of Total P's. And there doesn't seem to be a replacement at Haas either, so Haas with just one driver running in this session. May well see someone join him. I mean, Dean Phelan would be in that car, but he is absent for tonight, so it's just the one Haas car for the time being. The countdown has started, so we should see some drivers making their way out onto the racetrack. And it's the AlphaTauri of Lezard who makes his way out. And we've already got Dan Murphy, who, like in the previous 2 rounds, not opting to go out at all in qualifying. So at least we know the first driver dropping out at the end of Q1. As far as the championship is concerned, considering we have only done 2 rounds, and the point system is different for this in comparison to what it would be in most sim leagues. The top 15 score points, with the race winner getting 40, second place man getting 32, third place man getting 26, right all the way down to 15th position to get 1 point. It's also a point for the driver who qualifies on pole position and for the driver who sets the fastest lap of the race. But they must be inside the top 10, as far as I know, to get that point. On a track like Zandvoort, brilliant racetrack this, especially with that new banking which hasn't been used yet by Formula 1, but they will do later in the year in September. They were meant to be hosting a Grand Prix in early May in 2020 before COVID-19 had hit the world. Becco starting a flying lap then in the AlphaTauri. What's his line like through turn 1? Now you can take a wider line through here as long as you get the car turning, hook the car up, and then go at it through turns 2, 3 and 4, which he does so. On camber here, and it's very much on camber as you go through turn 5, 6, and 7, and then through 8. I'll say this is actually turn 7, according to the circuit guide. This is turn 8. Tricky corner to get right, to be fair. Turn 9, needing to brake down to 4th gear, is what Becco has done before you approach turn 10. Not a bad line through there in that left-hander. DRS open before they get brake to turn 11. Uses a decent amount of curb. Don't want to be using too much curb on the inside of turn 12, as you need to get the car hooked up for the small straight down to turn 13, and then carry the exit speed through the banking of turn 14, which is also on camber. DRS open, over the line he comes, and it'll be a 1 minute 10.3. So that's Becco's lap, but I can imagine the times will come down as the session goes on. Lezard also completing a lap. He goes to the top of the timing pages, a 1 minute 8.8. Who else is also out on track? Softar has slowed down, actually. I think he must have made a mistake somewhere. Romans Republic is on a lap. De Roy is on a fast lap, and so is Jay Hartnell. So De Roy taking the opportunity to complete this lap here, and it's going to be a 1 minute 9.6. That puts him second on the timing pages. Romans Republic should be over the lines any moment. He does so, goes second fastest on a 1 minute 9.2. And Jay Hartnell going up to 4th position on a 1 minute 10.0. He'll be looking to find more time as this session continues to thicken. Big Bob Bell's just starting his flying lap. Just looking at who else is also on a fast lap. Soft Dart looks as though he is on a flight. Oh, I say he's on a flying lap. He's just slowed down actually. So perhaps just recharging the battery before he goes again. Doesn't want to be going too slow though. He is getting out of the way of other cars. I want to say best of luck also to Luna Ascari, making her first appearance of the season. Smalley will not have this lap counted as he's exceeded track limits somewhere. But we'll go to Big Balls Bells, who is close to finishing his timed lap here in Q1. He turns 11 and 12 nicely. Coming towards turn 13. And then 14. And then the quick run down the start finish straight. And it'll be a 1 minute 9.6. That puts him third at the moment. There's only 7 drivers who have... Orton Lissard has retired from the session now. He's retired in the pits. He's not crashed out on the track. So he will still be able to compete in qualifying should he get through. Oh, and Smalley's lost it. Smalley has lost it on the exit of turn 10. And that's his qualifying over. He's not set a time. So he will start from the back of the grid. That's a really costly error for the reigning world champion, who is second in the championship on 53 points. He's going to leave himself an awful amount of work to do for the race. That's a really costly error there for Smalley. And he's out of qualifying. Safdar is on a flying lap. Can he complete this without any issues? No problem there, taking as short of a line, and he's just coming into the pits actually. So Safdar making his way back into the pits. Mystic Joker out on the track in the Renault. Coming through the banking. He's probably looking at a 1 minute 8 here, you know. Over the line he goes. And it's a 1 minute 9.0. Puts him second on the timing pages. And Orange and Gamma beats him to second. He's posted a 1 minute 8.8. Not a bad lap there. We've got FRL Benz in the Renault. Just looking to, he's not a regular one. He's not a full-time driver. I just want to see who else he's replacing. I think it's Casey Bernard who's replaced. He's replaced for this one. So there's an opportunity for him to shine. And Pimis going up to 7th on a 1 minute 9.8. Probably needs to find some more time. We'll go back to FRL Benz. Locks up through 11. So Dan Murphy retiring earlier on. He won't be setting a time. Neither will Smalley. So we've got 2 out of 4 drivers who will be dropping out at the end of Q1. Who will be joining them? FRL Benz goes up to 7th with that lap. Quan and Q, 10th fastest so far in the Racing Point on a 1 minute 10.001. Using too much curb, he's backed out of it on this lap. He's probably, yeah, I'd like to think he's going to be pitting at the end of this lap. So we've got no other drivers on a fast lap at the moment. So just from what I've been told, Smalley 13 is saying that he had to go into a time trial to practice, and he'll be back in the lobby near the end. So he should be back in around about 45 minutes time, which gives him enough time to practice on the Zandvoort circuit before the race. So we've got 5 drivers or 6 drivers who have yet to post a time. We know Smalley and Dan Murphy won't be setting a time. Luna Ascari is on a fast lap in the Alfa Romeo, It's a 48.3 in sector 2. What can she put together? And Orange and Gamma has retired from the session. That's okay. He's retired in the pits anyway, so we're not going to see him back out in Q1. So he should be safe. I would say if you got a 1 minute 8, that should be enough to see you through. It's a 1 minute 9.6 for Luna Ascari. She goes up to 8 with that lap. It was a good lap actually from Luna. Dixon in the McLaren, 5th in the championship. Exiting the last corner, and it's going to be a 1 minute 9.1 that puts him 4th. Who else is going to be? I think Luna Ascari may be going for a... Is she going for another lap? No, she's not. So Safdar is out on a flying lap though. He's 4 thousandths down from his previous best, so we'll stay with him. Through turn 9 he goes. And then 10, does he get the car hooked nicely? That's a very nice line actually through turn 10. DRS wide open. Using as much curve as he needs to through 11. And a very nice line through 12 as well. Was he like through 13? Could do better, but it was still a good line. And then obviously use the downhill gradient to get the car taking the shorter route, and he goes up to 6th on a 1 minute 9.3. Now Churinbar, who had a torrid time in Canada, he did come away with some points. But it wasn't an ideal result. He was 7th last time out in Canada. He needs to get a lap on the board here. He is now in the drop zone. Liverpool fan, who's the only other driver who is still participating in this session, has not set a time. Churinbar coming into turn 11 and then 12. It's a 47.7 through sector 2, so he's most definitely on course for a low 1 minute 9 at the minimum. And then coming through the last turn, using a little bit of grass, not ideal. Opens the DRS. It'll be a 1 minute 8.8. So Churinbar goes to P1. Liverpool fan also on a fast lap. We've got over 6 minutes to go, so there's plenty of time for the drivers to get a faster time in. The driver at risk is Becco44 with his 1 minute 10.0. Jay Hartnell dropping into the drop. He's down in the drop zone with Smalley, Dan Murphy, and Liverpool fan. Liverpool fan taking the wide line through 13. 14 he comes onto the pit straight, DRS wide open. It's going to be a 1 minute 9.8 that puts him 13th. May need to go back out. Liverpool fan after that. As you can imagine, the track will continue to evolve. DeRoy on the soft tyres for Williams. What's his sector 2 time like? His 300's up from before, so he's definitely on course for a better lap. He'll probably go in front of Big Boss Bells, provided he makes no mistake. Coming on to the start finish straight now, rear wing wide open. And it's going to be a 1 minute 9.5 that puts him up to 8th ahead of Big Boss Bells. So good luck there from DeRoy. I'm not sure if Liverpool fan is on another lap. No, he's not. And Safdar's decided he's done enough in Q1. So Becco and Jay Hartnell are down in the drop zone. Jay Hartnell coming back out. And I'd like to think that Becco will be very, very shortly. Pimis in the Williams. Tier 2 champion last season. Being elevated up to Tier 1. He's a 10th up through Sector 1 from his previous best time. Turn 10, brilliant. Rear wing open. He wanted to be in the 47s ideally. Pimis, he's in the 48.1. He's 4 tenths up from his previous best time. He's got a car in front of him now. It's his teammate DeRoy who gets out of the way for him. Less than 4 minutes to go. Pimis coming around the last corner. Rear wing open. Runs out of his ERS, but he's going to power down the start finish straight regardless. It goes up to 8th with that time of 1 minute 9.4. So clearly the track is improving. The driver at risk is Quan Q, who's out on the lap at the moment. He's on a better lap as well. So we should see him in the 1 minute 9s. Yeah, went a little bit too deep really. Didn't take the best line through the penultimate turn. He goes up to 11th for that time, 1 minute 9.6. That pushes Liverpool fan down to 15th. He is coming back out on track now on a set of the soft compound. Jay Hartnell on a flying lap in the Red Bull. What's his sector 1 time like? He's over a 10th up from his previous best. So he's definitely on target to get out of the bottom 4. Rear wing open for the Red Bull. He wants to be in the low 48s. He's a 48.3 for Jay Hartnell. He's got no traffic that he'll need to deal with, so he's got a clean run to the line. Rear wing open, takes the shorter route to the line, and it's a 1 minute 9.6. That puts him up to 11th and pushes Liverpool fan down into the drop zone. Becco is also on a lap. I'm not sure if he's on the best of laps, to be quite honest with you. No, I doubt that he is. He's got time to recharge the battery and go again if he needs to, unless he's got some time up his belt. And it's not a better time than before, so Becco will need to go again. Liverpool fan is on a fast lap. The driver at risk is Luna Ascari in 15th on a 1 minute 9.6. Liverpool fan always has his lap invalidated, so he may as well back out of it and go again. He's got one more opportunity to improve now. Now Becco is on a better lap than before. He's 300s up through sector 1. What's he going to be like through sector 2? He needs to be in the low 1 at 48. So a low 48 through sector 2. It's a 48.5. He definitely needs to find more time here. He's not far away from beating his previous best. But what he's doing at the moment, or what he's got so far, isn't enough. Over the line he comes. Can Becco go up to the top 15? He posts a better time than before, but he stays 17th, and that is surely a Q1 exit for him. It's most certainly a Q1 exit for Liverpool fans. So we have our 4 eliminated drivers from Q1: Liverpool fan, Becco, Smalley, and Dan Murphy. Bar with a 1 minute 8.8. Do take note of that, because he will want to be better in that time when it comes to Q3, should he make it that. Luna Ascari on a better lap than before in the Alfa Romeo. She's already booked her place. Can she go better than she did before? She can, up to 9th on a 1 minute 9.5. That's a better time there for Luna Ascari. Puts herself into Q2, and to put the icing on the cake, she posts a better lap time to get her in there. So really well done there for Luna Ascari. I think she could be very, very pleased with that. So I've just been told that FRL Benz is now a full-time driver at Renault in place of Casey Bernard. So it won't just be for this round, it'll be for the forthcoming rounds that follow. And Mike the F1 fan, otherwise known as DeRoy, saying, "I can't believe you got my name right in one go." Well, I am familiar with Dutch names, Mike. You know, J as a Y, as you would pronounce it, and pronouncing a W as a V. You know, a lot of names out there that I'm very familiar with, like Van Dyke, DeRoy, and all those. I could name so many, but not right now. Anyway, Q1, looking at the drivers who are eliminated, they are the bottom four: Liverpool fan, Becco, Smalley, and Dan Murphy. Now, Smalley, as much it was quite a shock to see him crash out, but from what I've been hearing, he didn't have enough time to practice these Zandvoort tracks, so he's going to use the time during Q2 and Q3 to go and practice before he comes back for the race. So he's not leaving the event for good. He will be back later for the event after he's done some mileage on the Zandvoort track. Well, I can tell you, Smalley, you'll very much fall in love with the circuit itself. It's a beautiful, beautiful racetrack. So this is Q2. Don't worry, it's not lap 1 of 22. It's just a random glitch which you can often see on F1 2020. So there we go. Look, with the countdowns started. The next up is to see who will be the slowest 5 from Q2. So from 11th to 15th, which will determine those positions for the grid, which will leave the top 10 to battle out for pole position in Q3. Now, from what I can see, Infinite Glory and Romans Republic are going to try and set their first lap times on the medium compound. Romans Republic is the first driver to come out on track. Now, don't assume that he's going to try and qualify on those tyres. He's going to see how quick he is to begin with, and then we'll see later in the session whether he's done enough to get through to Q3 on those tyres so they can start the race on them and therefore go on a longer first stint. So you have just joined the stream. We do welcome you. If you feel free to get involved in the conversation as well. We've already had people getting in touch. If you do have any questions in regards to this action to do with Formula 1 or any kind of motorsport, I'll be willing to answer those questions when I do have the opportunities to do so. Romans Republic about to start his first lap in Q2. What's he like through turn 1? Let's have a look. The line is a pretty good line. Using a little bit of curve, not too much. Gets the car nicely positioned for turns 2, 3 and 4. Use the gradient of turn 4 to gather as much speed on the exit as possible. Through turns 5 and 6. Get the car slow down slightly for turn 7, using 7th gear through there. Turn 8 coming up, using a nice amount of curve as well, and on the outside. Turn 9, a little bit of curve again. Can you get the car positioned well for turn 10? Let's take a look. It wasn't too bad. He got a kick of oversteer as he got the power down. And Infinite Glory has left the session. Not sure what's happened. I think he's crashed out, actually. Yes, he has. Infinite Glory has been in the wars. Well, he's not having a good start to the season so far in the Tier 1 category. Infinite Glory, the runner-up from the Tier 2 category last season. He will not take further part in qualifying, so he's out. Do apologise for coming away there from Romans Republic, but he's posted a time of 1 minute 10.0. That will most certainly not be enough to get through into Q3. Luna Ascari posting a 1 minute 11.1. That wasn't quicker than her first time lap. She may well be on a used set of the soft compound to save a set of the softs for later on. She may be on another flying lap, although she is low on fuel and will need to come back into the pits. Therefore, Primus 1 completing the lap for Williams should be a 1 minute 10, and it is a 1 minute 10, so 1 minute 10.4, which puts him third. FOL Benz goes to P1 on a 1 minute 9.8 on the softs. He'll be fancying his opportunity to get into Q3. Dixon is on a flying lap in the McLaren, another one of those on the medium compound. Coming through turn 7. And his his set to 1 time is 30.0. DeRoy going to P1 on a 1 minute 9.8. It's a 48.2 for Dixon in sector 2 on the mediums. Now there seems to be quite a difference actually in terms of how much time you can find over the course of a single lap. It's a very short lap here at Zandvoort, but there are quite a number of slow corners that you have to nail very, very well. Dixon taking as short of a route as he can over the start finish line, and it's a 1 minute 9.4, and he goes fastest overall on the mediums. That's a good time actually on the mediums for Dixon. That should see him through. Lezard has also started a flying lap. He took pole position in the first race in Japan, missed out on pole position in Canada after his last lap time that would have put him on pole got invalidated. That pole position went to Smalley as a result. And I think that was just McLaren getting out of the way of someone through set to 1, so don't worry about the yellow flag. Lezard on a fast lap so far. He must be on the medium tyres on his lap. No, he's on the softs actually, so Lezard maybe trying something different to what the likes of Dixon, DeRoy, Romans Republic, Primus are doing. It's a 47.7, so he's pretty much nailing this lap as though it's a Q3 time. Lezard coming through the penultimate turn, gets the car nicely onto the curbs. DRS open on the start finish straight. Lezard's time is going to be a 1 minute 8.6, goes to P1 by quite some margin. So it's almost certain he will start the race on the soft compound. Quan and Q over the line for racing points, a 1 minute 10 point dead. It's 1 minute 10 dead, I should say, not 1 minute 10 point dead. It's a 1 minute 10.0, how about that? Orange and Gamma goes to third fastest on a 1 minute 9.7 for Ferrari. Not a bad time there for Orange and Gamma. That should be enough to see him through into Q3, but we've still got 6 other drivers. Make that 5 with Infinite Glory dropping out. So just waiting to see other drivers making their way back out onto the circuit. Dixon looks as though he's on another fast lap. In the McLaren, takes a little bit of grass out there. You don't want to be getting onto the grass at that point of the track, especially on a fast section of the circuit. What's Dixon's time through? Set to 1, it's a 30.0. It's a similar time to what he'd posted before, but he's exceeded track limits, so that's his lap over. Orange and Gamma. Is he on a faster lap than before? We'll have a look. No, I don't think he is actually. So we'll come away from him. Luna Ascari on the medium compound. Nearly 4 tenths up through set to 1. On her first time lap. Coming into turn 10, and then just before turn 11 we'll find out what her sector 2 time is like. It's a 48.6, and she's over 6 tenths up from his previous best time. So can Luna Ascari set a good enough lap here to give herself an opportunity to get into Q3? Lezard is confident enough to get into Q3, so he's going to sit out the remaining minutes of Q2. Luna Ascari goes up to 6th fastest on a 1 minute 9.9. That's a good lap from her. Will that be enough to get her into Q3 though? Chirumbar is another one of those on the medium compound. Safdar is on the softs. Mystic Joker on softs. Big Bob Bells and Jay Hartnell are still in the pits. They're probably going to wait until the last couple of minutes to go out on the track when the track is evolving. Chirumbar with a 30.2 through sector 1. That's not as good as Dixon's. He has yet to post a time. And Mystic Joker has crashed out. So Mystic Joker, the latest of those drivers to bin it in qualifying. There we go. Look, he's binned it on the exit of turn 4 and has wrecked the front end of his Renault. So Mystic Joker, who would have been one of those challenging for pole position in Q3, is out of qualifying. So two of the contenders who would have made it into Q3, you would have thought realistically, have binned it in the first and second hurdles of qualifying. So surely that should be a fight between Lizard and Dixon to battle it out for pole position in Q3. Unless others have anything to say on that. Safdar coming across the line for Alfa Romeo. It's a 1 minute 8.7, puts in second fastest, and that should see him into Q3. So we know that Mystic Joker will not be taking further part in qualifying. He's in the drop zone as well. So which three drivers will be joining him and Infinite Glory? Big Balls Bells making his way out onto the circuit for Racing Point. Jay Hartnell, will he make his way out on track very, very soon? Chirumbar up to 5th with a 9.5. Now the driver at risk at the moment is Quan and Q in the Racing Point on a 1 minute 10.0. He set his time on the soft compounds. There's a lot of time he needs to find over the course of his next lap. And it seems though that Cowell has joined. He could well be filling the Haas car that was vacant before the session started. Chirumbar comes into the pits. He should have done enough to get into Q3, to be honest with you. Now, if you were to ask me who is safe, who's going to get into Q3, I would say most definitely the top two. Roman's Republic should be fine. It's just from Dixon. I'd say Dixon's through on the mediums. It's just from Chirumbar downwards who are not quite as comfortable as the others. Jay Hartnell on circuit now. Big Balls Bells, I thought he was out on circuit, but it's not. It's the other Racing Point of Quan and Q. So go to Quan and Q now in the Racing Point. He needs a better time than before. He is on a fresher set of softs than he was before. Now, if you were to ask me what would be a good first set time, either a 30.0 or a 30.1 within that boundary. It's a 30.0, so he's 3/10 up from his previous time. So he's very much in play, is Quan and Q. Through turn 10 he goes. DRS open. Let's see what his sector 2 time is like. It's going to be in the 48s. It's a 48.1, over half a second up. So he's probably looking at the top 5 here in Q2. Now, if he was to go ahead of those in front, that would put Luna Ascari at risk. I would think that she'll need to go back out again. And it's a 1 minute 9.4. That puts Quan in 4th fastest, and that should see him through. Ben's also out on track for Renault. He's 2/10 up from his previous best time in sector 1. Coming through turn 10. Let's see what his time is like through sector 2. It's a 48.2. Still 2/10 faster than beforehand. Ben's also looking to complete a fast lap here. He's also at risk now because Lunar Sky has been pushed into the drop zone. Benz goes up to 7th with that time. It's a 1 minute 9.4. Jay Hartnell up to 6th with his time. It's a good lap time there from Jay Hartnell. Pimis is also out on circuit. He's half a tenth up from his previous best time that he set on the mediums. So he's set to 1. The Racing Point getting out of the way. Pimis is in desperate need of a faster lap here. There's 2 minutes to go, so he may have enough time to get round before he prepares for one last run. It's a better time than he did so before in Sector 2, so he's most definitely on course for a 1 minute 9. But how close will he be to getting out of the bottom 5? Pimis over the line he comes. It will be a 1 minute 9. It's a 1 minute 9.6 that puts him 9th. That pushes De Roy into the drop zone. He's out on track at the moment. Luna Ascari comes out on track now on the soft compound. Safdar has done enough to get into Q3, hence why he's sitting out the remaining few minutes. Big Balls Bells on a fast lap for Racing Point. Luna Ascari gets out of the way. Now, can Big Balls Bells produce a better... It's a 29.9. That's the fastest I've seen anyone do through Sector 1. So Big Balls Bells very much in play of getting out of the bottom 5. He's yet supposed to time in Q2, so we won't be able to see a comparison to what he had set beforehand in this particular part of quali. It's a 47.7 through Sector 2. We probably went a little bit too deep through turn 11. There's a Williams ahead of him who should stay out of the way. Oh, he's had his lap time invalidated. That's bad news. So he's going to have to go around again. Is Big Balls Bells. That's really, really poor for him. And De Roy better his time than before. Through Sector 2, 4/10 up from his previous best. So De Roy very much on course for a better time than he did so beforehand. He is 11th, so he definitely needs a better time to get into Q3. We've just seen Origin Gamma go up to 2nd with his latest lap. De Roy, can he get out of the bottom 5? He can, goes up to 4th with a 1:09.1. What about Luna Ascari, because she's on a lap at the moment, coming through Sector 1. It's a 30.0, over 3/10 up from her previous best. So it's a good lap so far from Luna Ascari. Pimis will not go through to Q3. He's out on a 1:09.6. He'll start 11th or lower. Chirumbar is the next driver at risk in 10th place. Luna Ascari half a second up through Sector 2. So if you're Chirumbar, you'll most certainly be scratching your head at the moment. He is just crossing the line to post a 1:08.7. So Chirumbar out of danger. That puts Benz on course or at risk of being knocked out. Can Luna Ascari get into Q3? The answer is yes. He goes 7th fastest on a 1:09.3. So that puts Benz out of Q2, as does Pimis, and Big Balls Bells can only manage 13th on a 1:09.7. So that was very costly there for Big Balls Bells. With the loss of ERS, the loss of tyre grip, that mistake at turn 13 had cost him dearly. So he's out of qualifying, is Big Balls Bells. That's such a shame, because he was very much in play of getting into Q3 and qualifying quite high. So we have our 5 eliminated drivers from Q2. And I cannot wait for Q3 to begin. I can imagine we're going to see some very, very quick lap times. The only driver making it into Q3 on the mediums is Dixon, who ended up 9th. Jay Hartnell, very well done to him, making it into Q3 in 10th. Now, Jay Hartnell's had a 15th place finish in Suzuka and a 10th place finish last time out in that wet race in Montreal. So our 5 eliminated drivers are Benz, Pimis, Big Balls Bells, Mystic Joker and Infinite Glory. Mystic Joker was the big shock as well in that session. So if you were to ask me who's in the running for pole position, I mean, to be honest, on a short track like Sandvort, it's anyone's guess. I don't think we've got any drivers with grid penalties so far, which is good news. I mean, Orange and Gamma and Safdar, could they pose a threat to Lezard in Q3? We'll find out any moment. So whilst we're waiting for Q3, do please get involved in the conversation. I'm as interested to answer any questions you wish for me to answer. If you have just joined the Twitch or the YouTube video, if you are watching it on catch up, then do please follow or subscribe. So Q3 is here. We've got 12 minutes to see who will be the fastest and take pole position. Now there's a championship point up for grabs to go with it. which could come crucial in the title race later in the season. For your information in terms of which circuits the Formula Racing League will be contesting, we've already done Japan and Canada. We've got 11 more races, including Zandvoort. We've got Zandvoort this week, then Monaco, Hungary, Silverstone, Austin, Sochi, the Red Bull Ring, Mexico, Singapore, Paul Ricard, and then the season finale in Abu Dhabi on the 20th of July, which is 4 days after the initial release of F1 2021, which I'm sure a lot of these drivers will be anticipating a lot. Most certainly have got that date down on their calendars. I most certainly have done. Luna Ascari, she'll be very pleased to get into Q3 in the Alfa Romeo. Now, if her pace is something to shout about, I do hope to see her competing more and more often in the Formula Racing League. It's pretty evident that she's got the pace. Romans Republic doing a fine job in the Ferrari as well. Dixon, can he pose a threat to Lezard and get his McLaren onto pole position? Be ideal, because he will be starting on the medium compound, unlike the rest of the top 10. Duroy also out on circuit in the Williams. Quanon likewise. We'll go on board with Luna Ascari, who starts her first time lap in Q3. Smooth through turn 1, and then 2, and then 3. Not taking too wide of a line. Turn 4, very smooth through there. And then we've got turn 5, 6, and 7 coming up. She had to make a late change to 6th gear there. 30.2, that's not her fastest Sector 1 time from what she managed in Q2, but I'm sure she will find some time later on when she goes on the last one. Oh, she got an awful kick of oversteer. She got the power down. So easy to do. It's a 48.6, so she's not on a good lap here, is Luna Ascari. I wonder if she'll come back into the pits or just get a banker lap in, so she's got something on the board for when she comes back out later on. Luna Ascari coming around the banking. DRS open, and it will be a 1 minute 9.9. Let's have a look to see who else is on course to complete a lap. Dixon crossing the line, he's had his lap time invalidated. Romans Republic taking the shorter way to the finish line, and it's a 1 minute 9.1. So he goes to provisional pole position there. Who is next to cross the line? It'll be Quanon in the Racing Point. Don't think he's on a particularly fast lap here, to be quite honest with you. No, he's lost time somewhere. Is Quanon? He may be on a prep lap of some sort before he prepares for his fast time. But at least he's going to set a lap for himself. And on he goes. Duroy, what's his time like? He's probably doing a prep lap as well. DRS open. And it will be a 1 minute 13.3. Not a representative time. Now Dixon, he had his first time invalidated. What's his Sector 2 time like? So 47.8, that's more like it. Just 2 more corners to go. There's no one in front of him who could potentially impede him. Keeps the car within the confinements of the curb. He's run out of ERS, so he's going to have to try and sprint to the line as much as he can, and he goes to provisional pole position on a 1 minute 8.8. This is a good lap time there from Dixon. Quanon Q is also on a fast lap, 48.3. Not as quick as Dixon's, but could be good enough to put him third for the time being. His entry into 13 wasn't particularly the best. DRS open now on the Racing Point as he comes over the line. 1 minute 9.6 puts him third fastest. So at least he goes in front of Luna Ascari. Duroy in the Williams. What can he produce? It's going to be a 1 minute 9.2. Puts him third. So less than a tenth away from Romans Republic. But we've still got 5 other drivers who have yet to post a time so far. Lezard is one of them. He's got to be the favourite for pole here, considering he's already been on pole in Japan. Should have got pole in Canada, but didn't, but has won the opening 2 races of the season. Orange and Gamma going up to second place now on a 1 minute 9.0. Over 0.2 of a second away from Dixon's pole lap. Lizard posting a 29.7 in sector 1. Definitely on course to go fastest at the moment. Can he keep it that way throughout the rest of the lap? There's no one in front of him. The nearest driver is, well, those are just coming out of the pits, so he hasn't got anything to worry about except his driving. 47.6 through sector 2. This is a very good lap so far from Lizard, who could put his AlphaTauri at the front of the pack. Rear wing open. Over the line he goes. It'll be a 1 minute 8.3, and that's nearly half a second up from Dixon. That's a fantastic lap time there from Lizard, who goes to provisional pole position. I think Chirimba has been in the wars. I think he's got some damage to his front wing, so he'll need to come back into the pits to get a replacement. Safdar on a lap in the Alpha Mate says 47.6. So he's very much in play here to potentially snatch the pole lap away, snatch pole away from Lizard. So can Safdar pull something out of the bag here in the last couple of corners? Takes a bit of grass. That's not what you want to be doing at this point. It's a 1 minute 8.7. Puts him on the front row at least. So a good lap there from Safdar. Chirimba comes back into the pits. Jay Hartnell's not been out yet. He's probably going to wait until the end of the session. Romans Republic also out on circuit. He's going to go for possibly 3 runs if he can do it. He probably set his first time on a used set of softs. Looking at the tyres here that he's on, I think they are a used set as well, but we'll find out soon enough. But he is coming over the line to start his next flying lap. Coming into turn 1. Not a bad line. And Safdar has binned it on the exit of turn 12. So that's his session over. Not sure what's happened there, but he won't be taking pole position. That's such a shame because he's produced a brilliant lap time and I felt there was still more left in him. Romans Republic coming through sector 1. It's a 29.8. That's nearly 0.2 up from his previous best time. He's the only driver out on circuit at the moment. Two-tenths off in sector 2 from his previous best, so he's most definitely on course for a 1 minute 8. Probably go ahead of Orange and Gamma. Don't think he'll go ahead of Dixon unless he can pull a blinder last sector. Romans Republic, rear wing open, down the start finish straight, and it's going to be a 1 minute 8.8. And he goes up to third with that lap. Good effort there from Romans Republic. Very good effort indeed. Jay Hartnell finally out on circuit in the Red Bull. Got into Q3 last time out in Canada. Qualifying 9th. Now, Jay Hartnell's had a 15th place finish in Japan and a 10th place finish in Canada. Could do with a better result here. He's about to start his, what could be his final flying lap. Over the line he goes. And I'm just thinking, with him out on circuit now, he may just do a flying lap and then a cool down lap to recharge the battery and save tyres, and then go for a last gasp effort to try and make his way up the pecking order. He's got no traffic to deal about, so it's a free run to the line for him from here on to the end of the lap. Jay Hartnell through, or it's not the best line, through 7. But it's a 30.1, which is not the best time we've had so far. He ideally needed to be in the 29s. But let's see what he can find in sector 2. Rear wing open on the Red Bull. He's probably looking at a 48 in sector 2. It's a 48.4. So in terms of where he could line up, I would be tempted to say, I'd probably say ahead of Luna Ascari at this rate. Maybe Quanon, if he's quick enough. He's coming onto the start finish straight now. His ERS has run out. It's a 1 minute 9.8, and he goes in front of Luna Ascari. So not a bad lap. Does he have enough time to do a cool down lap and go for a last run? He does have enough time, so doesn't really taking too much life out of the tyres on this cool down lap. But he needs to get over the line before the checker flag falls. Truenbar yet to post a lap in the Mercedes. Who else is on a fast lap? Quanon Q is about to start his. DeRoy is on what looks to be a better time. He's posted a 1 minute 9.2 so far. What's his sector 1 time like? It's a 29.9. Over 2 tenths up from his previous best. So he's in play to post a 1 minute 8 here is DeRoy. But how close can he be to the likes of Romans Republic, Dixon, and of course Safdar, who's no longer competing in this session? DeRoy coming over into sector 2. It's a 47.9. So he's still very much on course for a 1 minute 8. Doesn't take too much curb, a little bit of grass on the outside, but not too much. Keeps the car in. That was a nice turn in there into 13. Doesn't use any grass through 14. Takes the shorter route to the line, and it's going to be a 1 minute 8.9. Goes up to 5th with that. So good effort there from DeRoy. Orange and Gummer, next driver over the line in the Ferrari. What can he come up with? Can he go back into the top 5 with this lap? He's on a 1 minute 9.0. This should be a 1 minute 8. And it is a 1 minute 8. It's a 1 minute 8.6. And he puts his Ferrari onto the front row. Brilliant lap time there from Orange and Gamma. Excellent, excellent stuff. Who's next over the line? Quanon's next over the line. Let's take a look at where he's at. He's had a very, very slow sector 3, so we'll come away from him. The next driver over the line is Dixon in the McLaren, who's 2 tenths up from his previous best in sector 2. I can imagine he'll go back on the front row with this lap. His ERS has run out. Comes over the line, and it's a 1 minute 8.5. He goes back to the front row. So good lap there from Dixon. What about DeRoy? In fact, we'll go to Jay Hartnell, actually, because I think he's about to cross over the line. I don't think he's on a good lap here. No, he's not. So we go to DeRoy in the Williams. He's had a very good session so far. What can he come up with a last time lap? Truenbar's gone 6th fastest with his only lap of the session for Mercedes. And Lezard's crossed the line, not posting a better lap than before. So Lezard is on pole position for AlphaTauri for the 2nd time in 3 races and gets another championship point and extending his lead at the top. Dixon will be on the front row next to him with Orange and Gamma 3rd, Safdar 4th, Romans Republic in 5th place for Ferrari. That's a good effort from him. Truenbar it will be 6th on the grid. DeRoy will be very happy with his effort for Williams in 7th. And well done to Luna Ascari, not only just getting into Q3, but putting her Alfa Romeo up into 8th place. Jay Hartnell was 9th, just as he was so in Canada last week. And Quannon makes up the top 10 for the grid. And the good news for Dixon, not only is he starting on the front row, but he's also starting on the medium tyres and will also go on a longer first stint than the others in the top 10. That was an interesting qualifying session. Really enjoyed that one. So just a rundown. So Lezard and Dixon on row 1, Orange and Gamma and Safdar on row 2, Romans Republic and Truenbar on the 3rd row, DeRoy and Luna Ascari are next on row 4, Jay Hartnell and Quanon Q in 9th and 10th on row 5. And DeRoy saying, I was sweating that last lap. I was so confident with my medium time. Now, just in case you want to know who Mike is, that's DeRoy in the Williams, as you can see on screen. It was a very, very good effort there. I can imagine he'll be in the running for a top 5 finish, should he keep his car clean at the start. So we're in for a 36-lap Dutch Grand Prix, round 3 of the Formula Racing League in the Tier 1 category. Lezard has won both races so far. Can anyone else beat him to the flag? We've got another driver joining the grid as well. That's Carroll in what looks to be the Haas. We'll find out in a moment, whilst the drivers are completing their race and fuel strategies for the Dutch Grand Prix. There shouldn't be any rain intervening with the race. Now, if you are one of those drivers who knows everything about the weather for this event, then do please inform me, as it is within my interest and those who are watching. So around about 30 seconds to go. In fact, Carol's left the session now, actually, so it looks as though that we are just going to have a 19-car grid. Who will come away with the spoils here in Zandvoort? Lovely, lovely racetrack. I really cannot wait for Formula One to be racing there in September. It's going to be quite uplifting, especially for those who are Max Verstappen supporters. And Carol is on the grid. I think she left the session, but it's controlled by the AI at the moment, so we're hoping to see her or him, whichever of the whatever gender it is, to make it back onto the into the lobby before the race starts. So let's have a look and see who is on whatever tyres. Dixon, Pimis, Big Balls Bowles, Infinite Glory, Becco and Dan Murphy are on mediums. Liverpool Fan and Smalley are on hards. The others are all on soft compound. Smalley and Dan Murphy, and of course Mystic Joker will be three of which he'll be fighting their way through the field at the start. But there's so little room here for overtaking. It is very much possible to overtake here in Zandvoort, but you want to be making sure you keep your car clean throughout. As far as the championship is concerned, with Lezard getting that championship point for qualifying on pole position, he extends his gap to Smalley to 30 points. Now remember, it's 40 points for a win, 32 for second, 26 for third, right all the way down to 15th, who would get 1 point. So it's 40 points for pole, 40 points for the win, 32 for second, 26 for third, 20 for fourth, 18 for fifth, 16 for sixth, 14 for seventh, 12 for eighth, 10 for ninth, 10 for ninth, 8 for 10th, and then down to 15 for 1 point. The fastest lap point will only be awarded if the driver finishes inside the top 10, which is very much like in real life. Well, everyone is on the grid now. Lezard waiting for those 5 red lights to come on any second now. So the 5 red lights are coming on any moment, which they do. When they go out, we'll be racing here in Zandvoort. Lights out, and away we go. Dixon gets off the line slightly better than Lezard, and he could have the inside line into turn 1, but it's Lezard who keeps hold of the lead. Then it's Dixon in second place, and then we've got the Ferrari of what looks like Orange and Gamma behind, and then it's the Alfa Romeo of Safdar, and we've got a spinner. Roman's Republic has gone into the barriers at turn 3, and he's got himself with an awful amount of work to do. He's got damage to his front wing there, so he's pointing the wrong way. Want to go back to the battle for the lead, because Lezard is still ahead of Dixon. Orange and Gamma in third place, Safdar's fourth, and up into 5th place is the other Alfa Romeo of Luna Ascari. So she's made a fantastic start from 8th on the grid all the way up into 5th place. Then we've got the Renault of Eferol Benz in 6th. Then it's Turenbar and the Mercedes of Turenbar in 7th place ahead of the Williams of Pimis. And we've got Becco, who's been in the wars as well somewhere. He's rejoined at the back just behind Roman's Republic, so he's got an awful amount of work to do. But Lezard is coming round the penultimate turn, and then the last turn here at the banking as they go round now, and lap 1 will be completed. So Lezard got off the line as well as he needed to done, but can he keep hold of the lead throughout? And you can see the leaderboard is glitching at the moment. What else is happening so far? We've got FRL Benz ahead of what looks like the Mercedes of Turenbach. Pimis and Mystic Joker. In fact, Mystic Joker making up a good few places actually from where he started. It looks like he's up to 9th position from 14th on the grid. We've got 2 drivers in the pits. They are Becco. In fact, 3 drivers in the pits. Dan Murphy. Now, did he make contact with someone at the start? He may well have done. Romans Republic also had that contact at turn 4. And Becco, I think, has been in the walls down at like sectors 1 and 2, which would be around turn 8. So Lizard still out in front. No DRS for the first 2 laps. Orange and Gamma trying to close in on Dixon ahead of him. So Lizard with a new fastest lap, 1 minute 11.8, but I'm sure that lap time will come down lap by lap as the race goes on. And we've got Mystic Joker all over the back of Pimis for 8th place. Having a fantastic start is Mystic Joker, who is already had a podium finish this season, finishing 2nd in the opening round in Japan. Last time out in Canada, he was 4th, so he's finished in the top 4 in both races so far this season, has Mystic Joker. He's got a fight on his hands to maintain that record, but I'm confident he'll be able to do so. We've got the Alfa Romeos, well, I say the Alfa Romeos, we've got Luna Ascari ahead of the Renault of FRL Benz, coming through turns 9 and 10. Luna Ascari doing a fine job. She's doing better than I thought she would do in this one. And FRL Benz locking up into turn 11, taking a little bit of curve through turn 12, which has compromised his exit speed. I want to go back to the battle for 3rd because Safdar is going to have DRS on the back of Orange and Gamma. We could see a change of position here for 3rd. Safdar goes to the outside with DRS, and that's a nice move there. I don't think Orange and Gamma's got anything to fight back on that one. So that's 3rd place going to the Alfa Romeo driver. So Safdar having a better time of it all than he has been in the last couple of races. Luna Ascari keeping on the 5th place ahead of Benz. But Benz smashes into the back of her, gets some front wing damage. Luna Ascari gets away with it, but Benz will need to come into the pits to get a new nose cone. Turenbach under pressure from Pimis and Mystic Joker as well. We'll keep it clean, boys, down into turn 7, and they do go through there in single file, which is the right thing to do. You can't really overtake through there unless you're completely alongside. And Mystic Joker going to the inside of Pimis into turn 9. That's a great move there from Joker. The American going up into 8th position. And we've got Benz dropping back with that front wing damage. Turenbach alongside with DRS, and that's surely going to be 6th place for the Mercedes, unless Benz can fight back. No, he has to concede, and Turenbach goes up into 6th place. Now, I wonder if Mystic Joker will be allowed through there. Maybe some team orders may come into play here. Now, will Benz come into the pits? Oh, he's locked up through turn 13. He must think about allowing his teammate through. And yeah, he's coming into the pits. So Benz already losing ground to the lead there. That's such a shame considering where he's qualified. And he's going to be falling down to the back. So we're now on lap 5 out of 36. Orange and Gamma in 4th place behind Safdar, who's also closing in on Dixon. Dixon losing time to Leslie in front. Leslie's lead 2.9 seconds as they come into sector 1. Safdar a second behind Dixon. Orange and Gamma another 7/10 adrift. We've got Luna Ascari in 5th place ahead of Turenbach. Mystic Joker 7th now ahead of Pimis, Big Balls Bells and Smalley. In fact, Smalley, who crashed out in Q1, starting 18th, has already made up 8 places to 10th. So he's made an excellent start, but he needs to make up a lot more ground to minimise the damage of the amount of ground he's about to lose in the title race to Lizard. So Orange and Gamma, he's going to have DRS on the start finish straight. I don't think Safdar is going to have DRS. It's an opportunity for Orange and Gamma to get back what he had lost a couple of laps ago. He's probably too far back to do it there, so he'll have to sit behind a little bit longer. Turenbach all over the back of Luna Ascari. Well, I say he's all over the back. He's close enough, but, well, he says he's close, but he's not close enough to have a go down into turn 1. Big Balls barrels all over the back of Pimis in the battle for 8th. How long will it be before he gets by? Now, those who are starting on the soft compound will be starting to feel that their tyres are going to be going off, which is going to play into the hands of those on the medium compound. Now, Pimis is a second behind Mystic Joker. So Mystic Joker's got a little bit of a buffer, but that buffer will go away once the tyres do start going off the hitting the cliff, or off the cliff. How long will it be before Turin Bar gets by Ascari? He knows he's quicker than Ascari, but Ascari is doing all she can to keep her Alfa Romeo in front. And we've got a spinner. Someone's out. It's Big Balls Barrels who's lost it. Big Balls Barrels has lost it on the exit of turn 10. That is his race over. Torrid day for him. And we've got a safety car. Now, how will that affect the field? Lezard coming into the pits. Dixon, unsurprisingly, staying out. Now, those who are starting on the soft compound are going to make pit stops. Becco getting a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. He'll have to take that after the restart. Now, Safdar coming into the pits. What about Luna Ascari? She's also in for Alfa Romeo. It's a little bit tardy as this pit stop because of the team servicing her teammate. But she's away anyway. She probably have had to wait for the Mercedes to get by. But the bad news for her is that Turin Bar has got ahead of her. So that's really bad news for Luna Ascari. She's lost out in that. DeRoy also in. Mystic Joker falling behind DeRoy. Now, I think Mystic Joker is another of those who had to wait in his box to allow other drivers to come through down the pit lane. It's a very short pit lane here and quite narrow as well. So the amount of time you do lose in the pits is more minimal than on a lot of race circuits. Jay Hartnell, another one of those. He's going on the hard tyres. So it seems as though those who are pitted are going to be going on the hard tyres to the end of the race. The only driver who came in for the mediums, who was on the soft compound, was Quanon. Now, Becco started the race, well, I say started the race on the soft compound. He's on the hard tyres at the moment. He's going to try and go to the end, but he will need to take that drive-through penalty. He is at the back anyway, so he's hardly got anything to lose. But Dixon is out in front in the lead. But can he stretch out enough of a margin over those who have just pitted? Now, Orange and Gamma is still yet to pit in this race, as has Pimis and Smalley, who's now 4th. Smalley, who started at the back of the grid, has started the race on the hard tyres. So he's got a great opportunity to stretch out a huge margin on Lezard, Safdar, and all those who have pitted, and those who will be pitting sooner, to pull out a good enough margin to put himself in play for a points finish. Now, I can imagine he'll want to go on the soft compound for the last stint. And how long will the safety car remain out there for? Now, Carroll is controlled by the AI, so it won't be too long before Romans Republic, Jay Hartnell and Becco get by. So now on lap 8 out of 36, Dixon continuing to lead, Orange and Gamma in 2nd, and then we've got Pimis in 3rd place for Williams, Smalley 4th, and Lezard, the highest of those who have pitted, in 5th. Safdar in 6th place, Infinite Glory, who hasn't pitted yet, is 7th. Liverpool fan, another one of those who hasn't pitted but has started the race on the hard tyres, is in 8th. Turin Bar 9th, and Luna Ascari in 10th. Now, how long will the safety car stay out there for? Now, the Sector 2 timing beam is just before turn 11, and the safety car is going to be coming in this lap. So Dixon will take the pace, and he'll go when he decides his best suit. He leaves the safety car room to peel off into the pits. I can imagine that Dixon will want to go after, I would say, turn 13, because he doesn't want to be catching up to the safety car before the line. And he's gone. Dixon, nice restart there. Orange and Gamma caught napping. So Dixon leads at the end of lap 8. And we've got battle here as Lezard goes to the inside of Smalley. Smalley fends him off. That's his title rival, remember, so he's going to do all he can to keep the championship leader behind him. Mystic Joker getting ahead of his teammate Benz for what looks like 12th position, although Benz is coming back. He's got back 12th place as Benz, so Benz getting the better of his teammate, but he's made contact with the Williams of DeRoy. Now Benz has already had damage to his front wing earlier on. He doesn't want to be going into the pits for another nose change. And we've also got, we've got a spinner, Benz. Oh, he nearly collects another driver. Oh, he peels off into the runoff area, he just avoids everyone and gets away with it. So Benz already having a torrid race so far, but luckily didn't take anyone with him. We've got Lezard in 5th position, right behind Smalley. Now, you'll probably think I've just got to be patient here, but the thing is, won't want to leave Dixon, it will need to try and get up into 2nd place and close down Dixon. Because the amount of time you do lose in the pits is something like 15 to 17 seconds, I think it is. So Leslie will need to try and get past Smalley, Pimis and Orange and Gamma to put himself in play for the race win. So Pimis is in 3rd, ahead of Smalley. What other battles have we got going down the order at the moment? Got Dan Murphy, who we know is a back of the grid specialist so far this season. He also started at the back, didn't bother setting a time in qualifying. He's in 12th place for Haas. He is on the soft tyres because he pitted for a tyre change at the end of lap 1. I'm surprised he didn't pit again, to be quite honest with you. But he's doing all he can to close in on DeRoy, who's on the hard compound. DRS open on the Haas. Can he get down the inside into turn 11? The answer is no, he can't. He thought about it, but had he gone for it, he probably would have caused a collision. Oh, Pimis nearly losing it coming out of turn 14 there. DRS is now enabled. I've mistaken myself there. We didn't have the first 2 laps of the restart didn't have DRS. So the next time the drivers come onto the back straight before turn 11, DRS can be used. You can see there's a battle between Quanon and Roman's Republic, and Quanon keeping his nose in front of the Ferrari. Going side by side through turn 4, Roman's Republic with a better exit, and surely he's going to go by him, is he? No. No change there still. Mystic Joker still in 13th. Got Smalley, who is going to be all over the back of Pimis, who's out of DRS range from Orange and Gamma head. So this is an opportunity for Smalley to get an overtake done here. And he's not close enough to do it. So Smalley sits behind Pimis for now. Tier 2 champion ahead of the Tier 1 champion. Now I just wonder how close will he be coming down the start finish straight to try and complete an overtake. He's not going to be close enough on this occasion. And we've got Turin Bar down the inside of Liverpool Fan for 8th position. That's a good move there from the Mercedes driver. That puts him up into 8th spot. Luna Ascari in 10th place behind Liverpool Fan now. Should be desperate to get past the McLaren, who's been on those hard tyres since the start of the race. Now I wonder if those clouds are gathering more and more and more. Will we see rain before this race is over and done with? Now if you're those who have started on the hard tyres, you may be rubbing your hands, because should you need to come into the pits, it may be later on in the event, whereas those on the mediums or the softs are going to have to do an extra pit stop. I've just been told by Luna Ascari it's a dry race, just overcast. Okay, so there's not going to be any rain. So it will be a dry race throughout. So thank you for informing me there, Luna. So Smalley looking to get by Pimis. He's 2 bar back to have a go on this start-finish straight, which is rather short, to be quite honest with you. Lezard thought about it as well, and we've got a change between the 2 Mercedes drivers. Infinite Glory letting his teammate go through. That's a wise decision there, because Infinite Glory is on much older tyres on the mediums to Turenbar, who's on fresher hards. We've had just the one retirement so far. Big Balls Bells crashing into the barrier on the exit of turn 10, hence why we had the safety car, which has brought the field right back up. Dixon taking the lead. He hasn't stopped yet. I wouldn't say he's going to stop until around about lap 22 or 23. And he's got a clear track ahead of him. So he's got a great opportunity to stretch out a big enough margin before he comes in for the soft compound. And the more these drivers, you can see in your picture, keep battling, the better it'll be for Dixon. Smalley is closer than it was on the previous couple of laps. We've had a moment there in sector 3, not sure what's happened. I think that's the McLaren, a Liverpool fan who, oh yeah, he's had a moment there, so he's dropped him down the order. Want to go back to the battle for third place because Smalley has now got ahead of Pimis into turn 1. So Smalley up into third place. The next one up from him is Orange and Gamma, who's on worn softs at this moment of time. Becco getting a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Leslie will be desperate to get ahead of the Williams now, but he's going to have to wait a little bit longer before he'll be able to make a lunge down the inside. Drive's coming through turn 9. The only problem for Leslie is that Pimis is going to have DRS, but Leslie wants to get on with it. It goes to the inside into turn 10. That was very ambitious, but boy was it ambitious. That gamble paid off there for Leslie. That puts the AlphaTauri up into 4th place. That's probably the overtake of the race so far. Brilliant move there from Leslie. Smalley is next up from him, who's 3/10 behind Orange and Gamma, who is struggling on his soft tyres now. And I think Smalley's going to make a move on him very, very shortly. Onto the start-finish straight they go, and the Ferrari is coming into the pits. So that allows Smalley to go up into 2nd place, Lezard up to 3rd, Pimis 4th, and Safdar in 5th. Now, what tyres is Orange and Gamma going to go on? He's going to the medium, so that should see him to the ends of the race now. We've got instant sector 3, and Quanan's out. Quanan's binned it on the start-finish straight. Out goes the 2nd racing point. And we've got our 2nd safety car of this race. Now, those who have just pitted. Ooh, is that bad news for them? I'm not so sure. We'll have to wait and see. It could well be bad news for them. Now, if you've just pitted, or you're just about to pit now, which Benz is taking the opportunity to pit, then that may pay dividends. Now, if you're Dixon, you may well take the opportunity to pit now, unless his strategy to go onto the softs is what he is planning to do. So we'll need to see what the McLaren will choose to do. Now, for your information, Dixon in the championship is on 38 points. He's 44 points off the top. And his results say that he was 8th in Japan, 3rd last time out in Canada. He has an opportunity to win those, and he is pitting. Now, I would think he's going to go onto the set of the hard tyres. It can't be another set of the mediums. You've got to use at least 2 different dry compounds in a dry race. It's going to be, surely it's the hard compound. Yes, it is. So it's the hard compound for the McLaren, and he comes back out now, still in the lead because others are pitting. So Dixon has a great opportunity to win this race now. He's got to be the favourite, hasn't he? Luna Ascari has stayed out on her hards. She goes up into 2nd, behind Dixon. Interesting race this so far. Can Luna take her tyres to the end of the race? I think she can, but towards the end, she's going to be quite under target from those behind. DeRoy has also stayed out on his hard tyres. Smalley on the mediums. Lezard on the mediums. Pimis has gone onto the hard tyres because he started the race on the medium compounds. He's got to do either the softs or the hards at some point. Orange and Gamma's on the mediums, Safdar on mediums. Likewise for Turenbar, Dan Murphy, Mystic Joker, Republic, Infinite Glory on the hard tyres now as well. Jay Hartnell also pitting, Liverpool fan, Benz, who pitted the lap ago. Becco's on track on the mediums. And Carroll, who has already been in for the hard tyres earlier on. That's a car that's controlled by the AI. Now, how long will the safety car remain out there for? So Dixon, under the safety car, is in the lead. Luna Ascari up into second place. I keep saying that she's been having a good race so far. Well, it's got even better for her. It just seems to be falling into place, doesn't it? Most certainly for Dixon and for DeRoy, and most especially Smalley. Now, if you remember, Smalley started 18th on the grid, and with him on the medium tyres, he could go to the end of the race, so he could finish ahead of Lezard, which would be crucial for the championship. Now, if there was any opportunity for him to close down on Lezard in the championship, this is most certainly going to be one of the opportunities to do so. He cannot bottle it. He just can't. He's got to go for the victory, or at least second place. Now, in regards to the championship, before the race started, Lezard was 30 points ahead of Smalley. As it stands, Smalley would get, just trying to work out my maths, I believe it's 24 points for a fourth place finish. Just jog my memory. No, it's 20 points for fourth place. So Smalley would get 20 points. Lezard would get 18. Now, who's set the fastest lap of the race so far? It's Lezard. So Lezard would get a point also for the fastest lap. So the gap would come down to just 29 points. So it's as you were before qualifying had even started between Smalley and Lezard. But Dixon's points of 40 would move him on to 78 points. So Smalley would move on to 73. Lezard would move on to 101. So should Dixon win the race, he would close down the gap to 25 points between himself and Lezard in the championship. The safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. So Dixon, like he did say before, he knows how to do it. Just needs to do it again. And perhaps catch Luna Ascari napping and the others. Luna Ascari will watch his every move. Can she make a run on him at the restart? I don't think she can, because I think Dixon, like he did so before, has caught the second place driver napping, and Luna is going to need to go defensive here because she's under threat from the Williams of DeRoy. DeRoy riding on board now, comes into turn. Oh, we've got a spinner. Someone spun it. It's Infinite Glory who's spun it. We'll have a look at him in a moment. But it looks though he's gone into the pits. Oh, we got the Rebel of Smalley going past DeRoy and up into third place. So Smalley making good use of those medium tyres. And so Lezard is going to get past the Williams. Infinite Glory is retired in the pit, so he's out of the race. Another shocking display there from Infinite Glory, considering he's shown in Tier 2 last season. Smalley looking to get the job done on Luna Ascari coming into turn 8. Luna Ascari shutting the door on him very early, committing Smalley into the single file into turn 8. Can Smalley get by her into turn 10? The answer is no. No DRS for the first 2 laps of the restart. So if Smalley wants to get by Luna this lap and on the next one before DRS does get enabled, he'll have to do so the old-fashioned way. And Luna Ascari nearly going wide there at the exit of turn 12. Turenbar moving ahead of Dan Murphy up into 9th position. Positions keep changing up and down the field. Smalley going to the inside, getting onto the bank, and that's the best line to take. And Luna Ascari is not going to fight this one, I don't think, unless she can make a lunge down into the inside into turn 1. But no, she settles and plays it safe and has to concede second. Lezard is next up behind her on the medium compound. Going to the outside through turn 4. And Dan Murphy's got back ahead of Turenbar into 9th. Those two just won't leave each other alone by the looks of things. Mystic Joker in 11th place, desperate to get into the top 10. He won't do it through turn 7 though. Want to go back to the battle for 3rd place though, because we've got Luna Ascari and Lezard almost going wheel to wheel. Now can Lezard get the job done on this lap, or will he decide to wait until DRS is enabled? Or Luna Ascari getting an awful amount of wheel spin, and that opens the door for Lezard to go through. So that mistake there from Luna has allowed Lezard through into 3rd place. She's got to go defensive on DeRoy now, who she was battling with on the restart. And we've got Orange and Gamma right behind the Williams and the Haas. There's also further action So there's also action further behind between Pimus, Turin Bar, Dan Murphy, Mystic Joker and Romans Republic. Can Pimus fend off the Mercedes of Turin Bar, who will be on better tyres at this stage than the Williams? I don't think he can, you know. Pimus is going to need to go defensive. Turin Bar goes to the inside, down into turn 1, and 8th place goes to the Mercedes. Well done there, Turin Bar. And Dan Murphy looking to follow suit. Can he get by the Williams, who is also on the hard tyres? And you can see there behind there, Mystic Joker fending off the Ferrari of, well, looks like Romans Republic. Ooh, nearly going side by side there through turn 5, but the Ferrari driver having to play safe and tuck back in. Smalley in second place now, less than a second behind Dixon. Now he can use DRS on the back straight. He won't be close enough to have a go on him at turn 11, but can he do so on the start finish straight? Riding on board with him as they come through turn 11 now. Dixon rides the curves heavily, desperate to find as much time as he can on his hard tyres. It's important that he can keep Smalley behind as long as possible, because the longer he keeps him behind, the better it'll be for him later on in the race in the final few laps. Smalley's too far back to have a go on this occasion, so he waits behind, although Orange and Gamma is going to have a run on Luna Ascari. He's got by the Williams of DeRoy earlier in the lap, and now he's going to go up into 4th place ahead of Ascari. So Orange and Gamma doing a brilliant race. Oh, we got a spin! DeRoy spins. He tried to get the same move done on Luna Ascari and throws it all away. What a poor effort there from DeRoy. Too ambitious down into turn 1, and he throws it. He's bottled it there. Turin Bar in 7th place now behind Safdar, who's up to 6th. Luna Ascari lives to fight on another day, but how long will it be before her teammate Safdar is all over the back of her? Smalley continuing to close in on Dixon. Lezard will be joining in very, very shortly, so Smalley needs to do what he can as soon as he can do so to get in front of the McLaren. DRS open. There's not going to be a change of lead through turn 11. Both drivers taking the curves heavily. What's going on further behind? Let's have a look. Nothing too much else there, so we'll go back to the battle for the lead, because this is the most important part of the race now. Smalley all over the back of Dixon. Dixon takes to the grass. That's going to cost him some speed down the start finish straight. Can Smalley use the DRS to his advantage and get the move done into turn 1? Goes to the inside. The two almost made contact wheel to wheel. Has Smalley done it? No, he can't. Oh, he nearly lost it. Went into the barrier almost. But he's kept the car on side through turn 3 and turn 4. This is great racing here in Zandvoort. Smalley not giving Hinner. Gets good drive out of turn 4. Now, can they go through turn 5 and 6 side by side? No, Smalley wisely tucks back in behind Dixon. That was very, very aggressive driving there for Dixon. He never gave in. He never really wanted to give in there. And Smalley had to concede the position and tuck back behind him again. But all of his battling is allowing Leslie to close in on these two. So Smalley. Oh, Dixon spins. Oh, there's contact. Smalley breaks his front wing. Oh, that's terrible luck there for Dixon and for Smalley, and it's good news for Lezard, because all of that is going to see the AlphaTauri driver take the lead very shortly. Now, whether it's on the start finish straight or in a few laps' time, Lezard is going to take the lead. That's such a shame. We didn't want it to end as it did, but Smalley is surely going to have to concede the lead here and come into the pits to get a new front wing fitted on. But Lezard is going to go to the inside up with DRS, gets the job done before the corner, and first place goes back to the AlphaTauri. Oh, that is really appalling luck there for Smalley, who started so well from the back of the grid to get right up into second and almost taking the lead. But all that hard luck has gone down the toilet, really, pretty much. Luna Ascari is surely going to move up into not second place. Well, she most certainly wish she'd be in second place. She's surely going to move up into 4th, unless Turin Bar can get by her very, very soon. Luna Ascari has been on her hard tyres for 15 laps. Turin Bar has been on the mediums for only 6, so he will have the advantage at this point. Now, will he go to the inside into turn 10? Not quite so. I'm just looking at the battle for second place with Smalley. He's going to try and go to the end, I think, on those medium tyres. And Turin Bar down the inside of Luna Ascari, and up into 5th place goes the Mercedes. So Turin Bar doing very well on the restart. Very, very well indeed. We've got Mystic Joker, who's managed to avoid all the chaos that's happened to get his Renault up into 7th. Now, can he get by the Alfa Romeo on the restart, and you can just see the Red Bull of Smalley coming into the pits. He's probably going to go on the set of the soft tyres to the end. What really, really bad luck for him. And Mystic Joker is still behind Liam Ascari, but has moved up a place because of Smalley coming into the pits for a change of tyres and a new front wing. So Lezard leads. Orange and Gamma is in second place. Safdar is third. Chirumbar is fourth. Liam Ascari fifth. Mystic Joker in sixth. Pimis, Dan Murphy, Dixon and Romus Republic are in the top 10. So Dixon, after that spin, has seen himself... Oh, he goes wide into turn 7. Oh, that he got away with it there. And just was going to touch on the point that Dixon is in 9th place through all the chaos after that spin. But he's at a huge disadvantage with all those on the mediums. I'm just looking at Safdar, who's going to be all over the back of Orange and Gamma very, very soon. He's on a set of mediums that are a lap younger than Orange and Gamma. And Mystic Joker, I can imagine, will have DRS on the start-finish straight. Luna Ascari won't have that luxury, so she'll need to go defensive if she is to keep hold of 5th place. And she won't do on this occasion. Mystic Joker goes past her, and up to 5th he goes. And I don't think there's anything else going on further behind, so we'll go back to the battle for 2nd position, as Safdar and Orange and Gamma are about to be joined by the Mercedes of Chirumbar. Lezard leads 3.5 seconds with 12 laps remaining. This has been a brilliant race to watch. Right on board with Safdar, coming out of turn 9 and into turn 10 they go. DRS open on the Alfa Romeo. Is there going to be a change of position here? Not on this occasion, but maybe so on the start finish. You could see Orange and Gamma taking to the curves heavily out of there. Oh, he ran wide on the exit of turn 12. That's most certainly going to allow Safdar and Chirumbar to close in. Now, Safdar will need to not only watch what's going on ahead of him, but also behind, because Chirumbar is going to have DRS. So Safdar with DRS, shot is going to go to the inside, down into turn 1, which he does. Does he get the move done? Oh, he thought about it. Orange and Gamma cutting across, and Safdar has to top back in behind. Dan Murphy in 8th place now for Haas. Can he get by the Williams of Pimis? And Smalley setting a new fastest lap for Red Bull. The bad news for him is that he's outside the top 10, so he wouldn't keep that point if he was to finish in that position. And with him in 16th place, he wouldn't even get a point at all. So how quick can Smalley make his way back through the field? You can see Lezard continuing to extend his margin. You can see the battle for 2nd raging on between Gamma, Safdar and Chirumbar. Right on board. Surely he's going to have enough speed with the DRS to get the move done on the start finish straight. He has to go to the outside though, because Gamma's covering the inside line. Safdar goes to the outside. Has he done it? What a move from Safdar to get up into 2nd place. That's excellent there from the Alfa Romeo. Excellent drive coming out of turn 1 to put his Alfa Romeo up into 2nd place, and deservedly so. Now, can Orange and Gamma protect the final podium position from the Mercedes of Chirumbar? Oh, they nearly went side by side though. Want to go back to the action there, and Gamma is still in front as they go through turn 7, and Durai's out. Durai's binned it on the exit of turn 4 in the Williams. Will we need another safety car or a virtual safety car? We'll find out in a moment. Probably not. We've got a virtual safety car. So not a full safety car like before. It's a virtual safety car. So drivers will need to stick to a delta, not exceed it, or go too fast or too slow. Otherwise they will pick up a drive-through penalty. And considering the field are all bunched up now, and we've only got 9 laps to go at the end of this lap, you don't want to be getting penalties at this point. The only driver with a time penalty of any sort at this point who's still running is Becco, who's down in 14th position. At least Roy's retirement has promoted Smalley back into a points-paying position. And I think the race is about to get underway now. Whenever it does so. When the mini-map goes green, it will do so. And Becco picks up a drive-through penalty for speed under the virtual safety car. So he'll be, I think he's taking that now, actually. And Becco has, well, it says he's left the session, actually, but he should be retiring the car. Sugama in third place, ahead of Churimbar and Mystic Joker. Mystic Joker having a fine race so far. So are we going to see a battle for second place going right all the way to the end? Luna Ascari, who's been on her hard tyres for 20 laps now, has got a Haas of Dan Murphy behind her. Now the good news for Luna Ascari is those on the mediums are starting to see their tyres go off a little bit. So it's pretty much a level playing field when it comes to tyre wear. So it's going to be very much down to driver speed. Dan Murphy with DRS going to the outside as the two come down into turn one. Who will break the latest? It's Dan Murphy who will break the latest. And has he done the job there into turn one? Oh, that was a bit naughty there from Murphy. He cuts across on Ascari as they came out of turn one. That could be maybe a little bit to do with wheel spin. That was a bit marginal, that, from Murphy in the way he got through there. So that's Ascari down to 7th position. We've got Pimis, who is going to be right behind her as they come through turn 7. Becco is now in the pits for a change of tyres. That car is now controlled by the AI because Becco, the human player, has already left the session. Now Mystic Joker in 5th position behind the Mercedes of Churimbar. And we've got a battle here between Dixon and Pimis. Dixon going to the inside into turn 11. He's making up for lost time, or trying to make up for lost time. Oh, the two bang wheels. That nearly put Dixon into the barrier as well, and that opens the door for the Ferrari of Romans Republic to pull alongside. Oh, Republic's gone into the gravel. Republic into the gravel at turn 13, losing in time and places. His race goes from bad to worse. He's back out on track. But we want to go to the battle for 8th position as Pimis tries to get his own back on the McLaren. The two make contact. Pimis keeps his car pointing in the right direction this time, as does Benz, trying to get past Liverpool fan for 11th position. Romans Republic just lapping the Haas of Carroll. His car has been controlled by the AI throughout the whole of this one. Churimbar right behind the Ferrari of Gamma. Mystic Joker behind. So we've got a three-way battle for 3rd position as Safdar continues to shoot off into the distance, chasing after race leader Lezard. Now with Smalley and Dixon's melodies earlier on, that has changed the situation in the championship because Lezard can easily extend his points lead over everyone else should he take his 3rd victory out of 3. Gamma in 3rd. Is he going to be able to fend off Churimbar and Mystic Joker right to the very end? Churimbar with DRS. Over the line they go. Pimis gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Not good news for him. With that time penalty, that would drop him down. Oh, that dropping down to 14th place, I think. Maybe 13th, but either way, it's not good news for him. Dixon to the outside. Luna Ascari preempting the line that Dixon that would have taken at the exit of turn 4. Very clever driving there from Ascari. She should be very proud of her performance today. We took a really poor line through turn 7 though. And Dixon will be waiting to pounce. So Dixon all over the back of the Alfa Romeo. DRS wide open on Dixon's car now. But I think he's going to be too far back to have a go through turn 11. I think he's going to be waiting until the start finish straight. We've got Churimbar closing in still on Orange and Gamma. And we've got a Ferrari in the walls. It's Romans Republic who's gone for a spin. He's got going again, I believe. We've got Churimbar going to the outside though on the Ferrari. And up into 3rd position goes the Mercedes. I think the Ferrari's going to struggle to fend that one off. Turenbar is through. So Turenbar up into the final podium slot. We've got to change of position because Luna Ascari is fending off the McLaren still of Dixon for 7th position. Dan Murphy remains in 6th. Luna Ascari 7th, Dixon 8th, Pimis in 9th on the road, and Romans Republic has retired in the pits. So that's another one out of the Dutch Grand Prix. Orange and Gamma looking to make amends on Mercedes, trying to get his own back and trying to get that podium position back, but he's going to be under threat as well from Mystic Joker. He'll be smelling his chance of a podium here. And Romans Republic has left the session. He's already out of the race anyway. Now, is Mystic Joker going to be able to have a go on Gamma? Probably not, because Gamma's got DRS on the start-finish straight. And he's going to be too far back to have a go from there. And can Dixon finally get past Ascari? Not on this occasion, he's too far back to do it. So Ascari doing a fine job. I think she realises that those who came in on the mediums are starting to go. Will that bring her into play and chase down after Dan Murphy and co? Jay Hartnell up into 10th place ahead of Liverpool Fan. And we've got the other Red Bull of Smalley pulling alongside, and Smalley making up for lost time and up into 11th. Now, will Jay Hartnell let his teammate through on this occasion? I think he's going to have to, you know, if Smalley's going to get the best result possible in his quest for the championship. Smalley going to the inside. And Jay Hartnell lets him through. So Smalley goes up into 10th place. And we've got Mystic Joker continuing to make inroads on Gamma, who I do not believe will have DRS on the start-finish straight. No, he won't. So Mystic Joker has a genuine chance to actually close in and get the move done on the start-finish straight. 3 laps to go now. Can't do it through there. But we've got Dixon all over the back of Ascari on the start-finish straight. I think 7th place is finally going to go to the McLaren here. It's on fresher tyres than Ascari. And she's going to have to concede the position at that point. Pimis is next behind. Oh, and Ascari gets an awful amount of wheel spin coming out of turn 1, and she loses another place to Pimis. Now, the good news for Ascari is that Pimis is carrying a 3-second time penalty. So if Ascari can stay within 3 seconds of him, she'll be back ahead of him at the finish. The bad news for her, though, is that Smalley, on his soft tyres, his fresh soft tyres, or fresher soft tyres, is closing on her all the time. Back in the battle for 4th position, we've got Mystic Joker continuing to make ground on Gamma. He hasn't got too many chances to get the move done, so if he's going to complete a move, he needs to do it now. They're coming out of the last turn. DRS is going to be open now on the Renault. On the start-finish straight. And sits behind the Ferrari for now. And we've got the Red Bull of Smalley making a move on the Alfa Romeo of Ascari. And he decides, oh, he goes in late. Oh, Ascari, I thought he would go for it a little bit sooner. Oh, Ascari getting an awful lot of wheel spin that time, and Smalley's through. So Smalley up into 9th position, which will become 8th with Pimis's time penalty. Ascari down to 10th place, sorry. Benz has picked up a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. So he'll be losing his 12th position to the McLaren of Liverpool Fan. Turenbar in 3rd place, closing in on Safdar, who occupies 2nd. This is going to be the last time he'll be using DRS. I'll try and make a lunge down into turn 1. Mystic Joker likewise. Is he going to get the job done? The Ferrari getting a little bit of wheel spin coming out of 13. And Mystic Joker uses the DRS. Is this going to be the move for 4th position? He's probably too far back to do it here. So he'll have to wait behind. That's the last opportunity to turn 1. So if he's going to do it, turn 11 is probably going to be his best opportunity. Smalley, right behind the Williams of Pimis. Can he get by the Tier 2 category of last season? The answer is no. And Liverpool Fan, I think, is going to get ahead of Benz into turn 1 round the outside. Does he do it? The answer is no. But as it stands, he would finish ahead of him with the penalties applied. Now, is Chirumbar going to get onto the tail of Safdar? The answer is no. So I think Safdar's second place looks very much secure. But what a performance from Lezard. He's been quite lucky in this one. He was leading comfortably before the pit stops came around when the safety cars joined. But due to Smalley and Dixon's collision, that allowed him to get back into the lead and retain it ever since. Lezard is going to cross the line to make it 3 wins out of 3 in the Formula Racing League Tier 1 category. Brilliant job from him. Safdar is going to finish second, his best result in the Formula Racing League this season. Chirumbar, third place. Orange and Gamma holds on to 4th ahead of Mystic Joker. Dan Murphy, another one of his back-of-the-grid drives, to 6th place. Dixon, a disappointing 7th ahead of Smalley from the back of the grid and getting the fastest at that point. Pimus down to 10th place behind Ascari. Ascari coming out in 9th. Pimus 10th. Jay Hartnell 11th. Liverpool fan in 12th place ahead of Benz. Then in 14th position will be Becco and Carroll, whose car was controlled by the AI throughout the event, was 15th. So the drivers are now out onto the podium. Lezard just doesn't seem to stop winning. It doesn't look as though anyone's going to be catching him this season. His points in this race puts him onto 123. Smalley's 8th place, which would give him 12, along with the fastest lap point. That puts his total on to 66. Mystic Joker's 5th place, 18 points for him. That adds his total to 70. Chirumbar's 3rd position of 26 puts it on to 66 points. So final classification of the Dutch Grand Prix. Lezard wins by 7 seconds over Safdar in 2nd place. It's Chirumbar 3rd. Gamma in 4th. Mystic Joker in 5th. Dan Murphy in 6th place. Followed by Dixon in 7th. Smalley in 8th and getting the fastest lap. Luna Ascari, very happy to be finishing 9th. Pimus in 10th with that time penalty applied. Jay Hartnell 11th, followed by Liverpool fan, Benz, Becco and Carroll rounding out the top 15 point scorers. Romans Republic crashed out, as did DeRoy. Infinite Glory didn't finish, neither did Quanon or Big Balls Bells. So looking at the championship table, working out the points, Lezard's lead is very, very healthy. He has 123 points to his name, and Mystic Joker's points from the race puts him on to 70. So I think Lezard's lead at the top of the championship is now 53 points, which is more than a race win. Excellent, excellent performance from Lezard so far in the Formula Racing League. Can he carry that through? Can he carry that through in the remaining races? Chirumbar is up, Mystic Joker up to 2nd in the championship on 70 points. Chirumbar on 66 points now in 3rd, with Smalley in 4th on what looks like 66 points as well, just working out the points. So yeah, so it's anyone's game in the battle for 2nd, but for Lezard it just seems to be a domination so far in the Tier 1 category. Well, that's all for today. In case you want to know where the next race will be, it will be in Monaco, the streets of Monaco, yes, on the week. So on the 18th of May, 8 PM British Summer Time. I'm Tom Cairns, and I'll speak to you again soon when the Formula Racing League returns.